Okay, I finally did it, guys. I finally read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I was very hesitant to pick this up because it's high fantasy and I've been afraid of high fantasy for a very long time. I've tried reading other high fantasy books and could not get into them. I actually have a video talking about why it was always difficult for me to get into high fantasy. I'll link it up here and in the description for you if you want to check that out. But I finally read it. I had bought it at a library book sale like 3 years ago, I want to say. I didn't think I was ever going to get around to it. And then my friend Amber asked me if I wanted to read it with her, and so I said yes, and I loved it. Oh my god. I also don't have a book with me right now for this review because this is the copy that I had, and it was an ARC actually, which is like kind of cool to have, but at the same time not, because it's so ugly. Like, the girl is not ugly, but as a book cover, it's ugly. It's a horrible, cheesy, awful book cover. So anyway, I got rid of it. I gave it to my boyfriend's work. They have a book sale, and I'm going to re-buy it in the good cover. I don't have it right now because I haven't bought the good one yet because I just finished reading it a couple days ago. But, oh my god, guys, I loved this book. It was so good. So, also, because I had no idea what it was about. I knew it was about an assassin, but that was all I knew. I didn't know what the actual story was about, or anything like that. So, just in case there are some of you out there who have not yet read Throne of Glass, and you would like to know what it's about, I will give you a synopsis. So, Throne of Glass is about a girl named Selena, who used to be an assassin, and she's actually the most well-known assassin in her like kingdom or country or whatever, but she ends up, before the story starts, she gets caught or like ratted out by someone, so she becomes a slave in this mine where usually people don't live past 3 months, but she's been there for a year because she's a badass. And then the prince of her country or kingdom or whatever shows up and takes her out of the mines to tell her that he has chosen her to be a part of a competition, and the winner works for the king, so the prince's father, as, well, an assassin. I mean, he doesn't say that, because he's not supposed to, I guess, because the king's not supposed to have an assassin. But that's what the job is. And so there's a bunch of people at the kingdom or the castle or whatever who get to choose someone to be a part of the competition. So the prince chooses Selena, and she agrees to it because he says that if she wins, she will only have to work with him for 4 years, and then she will be free, and she doesn't have to be a slave in the mines anymore, and she can just go off and do whatever she wants. So she obviously would like freedom, and in exchange for being someone's assassin for 4 years, especially after she's been an assassin since she was young, I mean, seems like a pretty good deal, right? So she goes with him and his guard to the kingdom or the castle or whatever, and then she takes part in this competition that lasts like 3 months, but during the time of the competition, some of the people in the competition are randomly being brutally murdered, like ripped apart, and their brains are being sucked out of their heads and stuff, so it also follows that, and trying to figure out what's happening there. Also, like, a little bit of talk, like, there is magic in this world, but it's been outlawed, which is kind of interesting. So they talk about magic a little bit, but it's, you're not allowed, it's very, like, taboo and everything, so it sounds really interesting, right? So if you haven't read it, maybe you should. I really, really liked, first of all, I really liked Selena. She was, like, I don't know, she was just very, I don't know what words to use, because she was funny and like snarky, and she like didn't care what people like, she didn't care what anyone thinks kind of thing, like she's like whatever. I liked her overall like outlook and reaction to things and the way that she made friends, and I liked the way that she was training and trying to get back into shape and like tried to hide from everyone else that it was difficult for her at the beginning because she's been starving basically for the last year. And so that was good. I really liked that, and I just feel like she was very, like for her situation, I feel like she was very chipper. In a good way though. I really liked Selena, and I also really, really liked Kale. He was my fave. I love Kale so much. He was my favorite. Like, Yeah. I did like Dorian too, but I liked him, like, in the way that, like, anyone would like a charming, good-looking prince, really. Like, he knows he's good-looking, he knows he can have whoever he wants because he's a prince, and he's charming because, like, I feel like he's trying to be charming, and so there definitely were parts with him that made me smile, but then at the same time it was like, damn you, Dorian, I don't want to like you, because Cale was so much better. He was more real and, like, kind of, like, more, like, down to earth, and he was, like, more, like, reserved, and you could tell how much he cared about Selena. Like, he wasn't, like, just trying to be with Selena, because he wasn't even trying to be with Selena. He just clearly cared about her and didn't, like, interfere with anything because, like, he likes her, obviously. And so just the way that he reacted to her and everything surrounding her, it was all just him caring about her. It was all in a direct, like, relation to the way that he cared about her, instead of, oh, I just want her and I'm just gonna do whatever I can to get her, kind of thing. So that's why I liked Cale a lot. I also just really liked their relationship that they had, because Cale's, like, her guard and her, like, trainer. So they did a lot of, like, practice battles with each other, and he's, like, the only one who knew that she was having difficulty training and stuff like that. So it was like, there was, like, a little bit of a soft spot on her that only he knew about. Like, so, I don't know, I loved him. I loved Cale, and I loved Cale and Selena, and Cale and Selena forever. I also really liked the pacing. It wasn't a very fast-paced book, but it wasn't slow or boring. It was just, I don't know, because it wasn't like boom, 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 always something exciting, but it was always interesting, and also I really liked the characters, so I really liked reading about the characters and their dialogue and just everything. And even the narration was kind of funny sometimes. There was, like, a lot of exclamation points, which I found amusing. I don't know. Also, here's my one problem that I have with this book. And this better not continue to happen in the series, or I'm going to be super angry. But what was with the fancy events that pretty much all the champions were invited to except for Selena? Why wasn't she invited to anything? And why were they talking to her about it as if, like, why would you be invited? Why would you be invited? Like, no, you're not invited. Oh, but everyone else is. And I'm not going to tell you why you're not invited. You're just not invited. Like, it ended on a very interesting note, that I'm obviously not going to tell you about, in case you're one of the very few people in the world who hasn't read this book yet, like I was. The ending had, like, a lot of new information that happened in one conversation near the end that was very interesting, that is going to make the next book really interesting, I'm pretty sure. Loved it! I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, obviously, and I'm super excited to read the rest of the series. I really, really want to read the second book, like, right now, but I don't have it. I don't even have the better version of the first one.